There's two things about being a generational farm that I think are the hardest. Taking care of it in a way that honors the family that was before you, and transitioning the running of it and the responsibilities to the generation after you. You know, when my wife Tammy and I pass, this will all be theirs, and they'll be the fifth generation that has owned this farm overlooking Cuca Lake, and it's a great way for us to pass on, what we have to them. And they're bonded to this because it means more than money. It's really about family and the family history that we have here.
There's not really a set goal in mind for each person, really. It's more accomplishment based, so get everything done, doesn't matter who does it.
It's cold, it's muddy, sometimes it's boring as hell, sometimes it's too exciting, sometimes Greg's around. It's what you see is what you get. It's being out in the outdoors all the time, but instead of doing something enjoyable, you're, ankle high in mud or pushing bales or etc. It's super important to have this influx of young farmers because right now the average age of farmers is 61 years old. And this year has been the first year that it has dropped in the past 30. We need to keep it within the young farmers. We need to, create a system to continue to feed America. And these 61-year-old guys aren't going to be able to do it forever.
I think it's always going to be challenging because it's a family business. Not to say that that's a bad thing or it shouldn't be done or it can't be done. It's always going to be challenging because when we're not working, it doesn't really allow for a disconnect from work.
And it's hard to do that with family when you spend so much time with the people you work with. It's crazy to think, you'd bunk up with your boss. Same area. It's insane. It's really a lot of stress, but it's also really rewarding in the end of it. When you think the sheer amount that we actually just deal with each other, you either have to be in love or a mutual disgust and hate for each other. And we happen to be really close as brothers.
Me and my brother spend all day together, so we don't necessarily want to hang out with each other after work. And sometimes that makes us fall apart
we need to find things where, you know, our hands aren't crossing while we're working. We got to get some separation in there in order to actually appreciate each other as business partners.
I like this kind of life. It's kind of, I know I've said it before, but it's in our blood. I think it's very rewarding to work hard and earn what you have. And I think a lot of people take that for granted sometimes.
We retail meat at the Ithaca Farmers Market as well as in Syracuse Regional Farmers Market. Glenwood Farms originally started with my great-grandfather, Jack Evans, and back in the day, about 60 years ago, it was a chicken hatchery.
And then when my great-grandfather died, he left it to my uncle, and between my great-grandmother and my great-uncle, they just couldn't keep the farm going anymore. So they left it barren. I think it was between 1999 and 2001. My dad really looked into buying this place, and as soon as my great-grandmother died, he started purchasing pieces of the property, and that's when we decided that it had to be a farm to keep it, because the property taxes were so high that we just couldn't afford to keep it in the family. And my dad really wanted to do bison with my grandfather.
I was here from the ground level, if you will. I wasn't very old and certainly wasn't very helpful in 2001, but I've been here the whole time. My brother and I, on every vacation, every holiday, every moment off from school, we'd be up here making fences. And then once we finally moved up here, it was the same, only a little more avid about feeding them, getting them a place warm to stay in, just continuously watching after them. I want to keep it going for so many generations that it's kind of hard to understand. I don't want it to ever close doors in some way, shape, or form. I want to be producing food here for hundreds of years.
It'll seem hard one day, and you won't want to do it, and just don't give up. It's a good lifestyle. It's dying, and if we keep letting the small farms die off, you're not going to know where your food comes from anymore.
Essentially, the plan is to keep on growing. We're not exactly sure the specific location of Glenwood Farms, but it's going to be in this county or just on the edge of it. We want to be here. We love this area. We love the people in this area. We love our farmers market. We love this place. I mean, how could you not?